Hello. Yeah, I know it's very hard for people to conceive of this now, but I wasn't always the kind of sort of debonair, sophisticated, well-dressed person that I am. Back in the 80s, I kind of was, I went through quite a bad time, and it was a little bit kind of sleazy and tacky and a bit kind of lost, basically. So this is me kind of taking a little trip down memory lane. Sorry, this way, yeah. Sort of going back to the 80s, and to kind of set it up, I mean, basically I was unemployed. My girlfriend had packed me in. I was living in this I was basically couch surfing, and I was in a bit of a state. So my had decided that he was going to help me out, and it was basically self-interest, because I had this burger van, which was a terrible kind of something like this. It was like a horrible, dirty, greasy, just revolting kind of place, and it had this. It was a bit like that. It wasn't as white as that. It was kind of the congealed kind of grease that was on the inside of the walls kind of sort of creeped outside as well. And there wasn't a sort of a hot plate or a grill as such. There was this like kind of heated tray which you break the eggs into and just cook all these eggs in a pile of grease. And it was kind of he worked as industrial estate, and he put all this. He served it. He served these really crap rolls, like kind of egg and square sausage and all that kind of stuff to the guys in the industrial estate. Absolutely fucking minging, basically, But the guys in the estate, they lapped it up. They didn't really care. It was like it's the 80s. Standards, culinary standards are pretty low. The guys just want some carbs. They just want some really heavy, greasy fat. What happened was that, I hope this is being filmed. I better kind of tone this part down, actually, but I had to do a runner, basically. I had to leave town. And I won't say why, but what he said is, look, you're in a fucking mess. You've got to straighten yourself out, And I had these kind of horrible kind of minging jeans, kind of covered in spots, kind of sort of long fingernails with dirt under them, sort of not really taking care of my personal hygiene. I know it's incredible, to think, why did this girl actually pack me in? But she did, So says you've got to take over my pitch. You've got to look after this burger van while I'm away doing my thing. And I should turn this round, shouldn't I? Fuck. Is that just me getting extra time? No, I'll finish early. This will be 15 minutes. Don't you worry. I took over, and I did my usual thing, kind of showed up, kind of been out the night before, kind of sort of twitching away, probably done too much bass speed, kind of up all night, bags under the eyes, dirt under the fingernails, and the workies would come along in their overalls, and I'd kind of like, egg roll, bacon roll, sure, there you go, mate. I just kind of, I'd break a few eggs and I'd just slap it onto this horrible sun-blessed rolls that we used to get. They were kind of brick hard, kind of white flour, nasty, nasty things. Stick them into the guy's hand, and the guys would just go, all right, cheers, mate. Fucking throw me kind of 20 pence down, and they'd eat the rolls on the way back to the work. And I was in this kind of, it was an automatic pilot. I was doing this. I was working the. Where are we now? Yeah. Oops. This is a. I was. Well, hey, steady. I was working my ticket basically, and everything was going well. And I was still kind of living couch surfing, and I was kind of. I was getting into all sorts of weird kind of. The kind of weird relationships that you get into when you're on drugs and you're not looking after yourself and you're not kind of careful about the relationships you're getting into. I picked up a terrible sexually transmitted disease, terrible discharge, terrible. So I went to the ward. I went to the VD clinic, and this was in the days actually. It was after the kind of wire brush and Dettol kind of days. But they did keep that back as a threat. They had that in their arsenal. You know, it's like, if you don't take your penicillin, it's a fucking wire brush and Dettol next. Like, so fucking behave yourself. So there I was, like, you know, I was in a bit of a state, and things weren't looking so good. But I'm still, you know, I'm working, I'm going in all the time. On the phone to me, how's my fucking burger van doing? I'm going, it's fine, mate, it's fine, it's all good, like, you know? So I'm sitting there, you know, just kind of dishing out my burgers, my dirty fingernails and my kind of snottery beak and my twitching kind of sort of demeanour. Suddenly, I realises that the guy in front of me, he's not wearing overalls. In fact, he's wearing the suit. And I go, oh fuck, this isn't good. And he'd asked for an egg roll and a bacon roll. And I hands it over to the guy, and he looks at it, and he just throws it in this waste bucket that was adjacent to the van. And he goes, this place is a mess. You're a mess. And I kind of, so. And he says, and he handed me, he flashed this little card, and he goes, I'm from Edinburgh District Council's Environmental Health Department. And you've got 2 weeks to get this place in order, otherwise going to shut it down. So I was kind of concerned about this. And I said, I phoned up, I said, look, you've got to help me out here, otherwise you're going to lose the van. You know, I can't take responsibility for this, you've got to come back. He goes, no, fuck off, I can't come back, you've got to sort it out. I said, how can I sort it out? And he gave me the list of some names of friends of his and all that, and they came round and they completely refitted and redecorated the van. And they brought in this kind of beautiful kind of hob, and they brought in this grill. They ripped out all the old stuff. They scraped all the crap off the walls. They retiled the walls of the van. They cleaned the van up. They repainted it, and it looked absolutely spiffing new. And I thought, if I've got, you know, if they're making the effort, I've got to make the effort as well. And this was me, basically. I got the full chef's gear. I got a lot of the full chef's gear, and I thought, this is taking this to a new level. This is taking this fucking burger van to a new level. So I was almost like a kind of a schemy Gordon Ramsay before my time. I was taking this whole kind of, I was giving the people on the industrial estates, the workers on the industrial estates, the full culinary experience. And I changed the suppliers. I got in touch with these guys who did these beautiful, fluffy rolls, you know, and they did this, and they had these, you know, I got lettuce and tomato, and I got nice burgers, nice kind of sort of really healthy stuff, instead of this horrible plastic kind of stuff that we used to serve. And, you know, kind of decent bacon, and I had the proper hot plate kind of with the grease kind of ran off it into a trough, and I had these kind of, I had everything. I had these like kind of nice kind of, you know, the styrofoam cartons, and I had a pair of tongs, you know, sort of, you know, there's the styrofoam carton there that they, instead of just a little handkerchief, they got their bun in the styrofoam, this nice fluffy bun, and this beautifully cooked fucking, got a microwave and all that, cooking, and it was great, you know, so everything was fresh, and I even had a pair of tongs, so I didn't touch it with my dirty hands, you know, so I'd stick the stuff in the hot plate, I'd get the pair of tongs, I'd put it into the styrofoam carton, and then that would be me, basically, you know, I'd hand it over. The problem was that the guys in the estate didn't even fucking notice that I changed. Right? They're all, right, fucking move off. But it wasn't for them, it was for this little bastard of an environmental health officer who came back, and the first thing he said to me, you know, he looked at the place and he was blown away. He says, my God, you've really transformed this place. I just can't believe it, you know. And he goes, and look at you, you know, you've cleaned up, you've scrubbed up, you've cut your nails, you know, you're wearing these chef's whites. And he noticed, he was looking me over, he's looking this over, this is fantastic. And he noticed that out the bottom of my overalls there was a long piece of string. And he said to me, what is this long piece of string for? I said to him, well, look, I've had a bit of an issue, a health issue, and I've had this sexually transmitted disease. So what I don't want to do is kind of to be serving food, and if I go to the toilet, I don't want to be touching my penis. So what I've done is I've tied this bit of string to the end of my penis, and when I go to the toilet, so I'm not getting kind of discharge all over my hands and the place and all that. So if I go to the toilet, what I do is I just pull the string, my cock comes out, I do a piss, I've not had to touch it and all that, I'm serving food and it's great. And he goes, okay, but that's great, but how do you get your cock back in your trousers? And I go, well, thank you for listening, folks. Cheers.